And of course, that is essential that a lot of adults will actually go for a lot of lecithins.
Lecithin, yes.
Right, lecithin is actually very good for your blood circulation.
All right.
Even ginkgo. These are good supplements which are good for the brain development.
Back to zinc, I'm really pleased because I've been taking zinc for many years now. One a day zinc, and I thought that it heals internally as well.
Right.
But then it's good for the memory.
Yes, of course.
Let me test you.
Well.
When's my birthday?
Oh dear.
It doesn't work like
If you want your brain to be superpower, it's essential that you must take zinc and come along. But of course, alternatively, majority of people have no idea how to breathe well. Breathing. 60% of people on Earth, they have breath the wrong way.
Really?
So it's important they know how to breathe well. Subsequently, the water. 70% of people on Earth have been drunk the wrong water.
Oh, really?
So it's important that you drink the correct water so that your brain will appreciate it more.
What's the correct water?
Sorry?
What's the correct water?
What's the correct water? There's a long story to it, but make it simple for you to understand. A good water basically comes with alkaline in nature. Good water.
So the mineral water that you drink out of those bottles, is that good for you?
Yes, they actually comply to certain criteria to fulfill the alkaline in nature. But we still like to have certain criteria to be fulfilled.
Okay, now let's take another call. Good morning, selamat pagi.
Morning.
Good morning. And you are?
My name is Len.
Hi, Len. Do you have a question for SK?
Yes, I do. I heard that SK suggested that way we can remember things is by association. Now, it was easy because he was giving us, things to associate with numbers. But how do you, by yourself come up with ideas to associate these things so that you can remember?
All right, that's a good question. Thank you so much for that. Now, what do you say to that?
Okay, what I've given is actually, as I said, it was a very simple association for everybody to get started with. But in actually my course, I actually like people to be trained using the right brain. But beforehand, I also teach them how to breathe correctly, in ensuring there's a heaps of oxygen going up to the brain level, because it'll be very much appreciated by the brain. Subsequently, I also teach them to be able to use 10 minutes time to remember 50 cuts in sequence. But not using the number association, using a different approach we call creative linking memories. So this will actually help them to be able to not only memorizing the first cut until the 50 cuts, but if the time permits, we go even up to 100 cuts. They can also reverse by going from 100 cuts up to the first cuts.
Actually, let's rewind again. So you say to breathe properly, let's show our viewers. How do you breathe properly?
60% of people on Earth, they have been taught to breathe with the lung. In actual fact, we're supposed to breathe with the abdomen.
Yes.
The navel breathing.
You're a ballet.
As a dancer,
dancer, right? So what? Singer, dancer, yogi practice. You're supposed to breathe. You inhale and push your air all the way to your navel. You don't breathe with the lung. Because when you breathe with the lung, your shoulder tend to tilt up. So you're supposed to breathe with the nose, through your nose, inhale with the nose, push it all the way to the navel.
And then exhale it through.
You can exhale through the mouth for the first time, but eventually you go through everything naturally from the nose.
So we've got another caller.
You're very popular this morning, SK.
Good morning, Siti. Selamat pagi.
Yes, Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
And good morning, Joe.
Good morning.
Okay, the thing is I would like to ask Mr. SK Tan, is it?
Yes.
The difference or the relationship between memory and understanding. If it's suddenly when we were studying, we try to memorize.
All right.
But when it comes to understanding, it is another issue.
True.
So what's the relation between these two?
Okay, thank you. Yes, good
question.
Okay, memorizing is basically
Hello, good evening, everyone. I'm Daffy, your MC for today. So welcome to Monday Zoom Health Sharing. Okay, so today the topic that we are going to talk about today is free radical versus antioxidant, which is our molecular hydrogen. So our speaker today will be SK Tan, and if you guys have any question during the class, you guys can note it down or even just open your mic and ask at the end of the class. Okay, so without further delay, let's start our class, and I will pass my mic to SK Tan. All right, SK.
Hello, good evening. Okay, good evening to everybody, and thank you for being here for our today's session about free radical versus the antioxidant. As we've been reminded, so every alternate Monday, after having the session in Mandarin session, we'll be conducting this in English. So this is supposed to be our second session. Prior to that, I actually talked a lot about water. Today I'll be talking about free radical and the antioxidant. So before I begin, just allow me to share my slides. Okay, I need to move. Okay, once again, good evening to everybody, and thank you for making an effort to attend to this session for sharing on the health. And just before I begin, I would like to introduce myself, my present, SK. My name is SK, and actually a brain and mind management expert, whereby I'm focusing a lot about health, focusing a lot about brain depth potential, and also onto the green energy, environmental, and so forth. So one of the easier way for you to remember my name, I normally introduce my present, SK equals to suka kawan. But when I deal with kids, they like to call me suka kacau. Okay, but for ladies, I'm sure you heard about a very popular Japanese brand for cosmetic, namely SK2. When I'm dealing with environmental, I like to address myself as sampaking. It's not to belittle myself, but it's just to help yourself to be able to register my name easily. Okay, one fine day you tend to forget, I'll just remind you, hey, good friend, or suka kawan. So just associate my name SK. And of course, for people who know who I am, I was once actually a workaholic, and I actually jeopardized my health. My health get deteriorated. Eventually, I collapse. And then when I restore, I go with a natural approach, whereby I introducing what they call a technology, plus with naturopath called technopathy. So again, because of this enlightenment, because of these experiences, I actually go with the philosophy whereby I go with simple living, high thinking. Now, to even go deeper, to further elaborate about what I do, I'll just show you a very simple video clips pertaining to what I can actually deliver. Oops.
人的大脑分成左右脑，功能各异。左脑呢是称为抽象脑、学术脑，偏向是语言、逻辑性、数学、文学以及推理分析与思考；而右脑呢则被称为是艺术脑、创造脑，通常是以图像、音乐、情感等模式来进行思考。麦代记者侯佩斯、李文杰采访了脑力开发师，我们一起来了解何谓全脑训练。
变，发现它什么事？你感觉一下，你会觉得你看起来有点错乱，对，是因为你现在左边因为你是左脑右脑同时进行，它有这个挑战，没有办法协调。
随着人体新陈代谢逐渐变缓，大脑细胞功能随着减退，身体协调性不及从前。
学习多用脑袋的活动、智力的活动，尤其是针对我们的右脑的。比如说，你可以玩那个魔方块 Rubik Cube， 你可以甚至做一些活动呢，是让我们的左手和右手都会调整的。OK。Xylophone。
violin。
好，来，没问题。Xylophone。你想到了 ，OK。鹦鹉，很好，继续抢。我是开始鼓励大家做什么东西先做对。但是你越做越好，就是你的速度越来越快，因为你脑已经开始看到很多需要看到的资讯了。
有效的学习方法是关键，再来就是透过不断练习，达到精益求精。
通常会鼓励大家先从我们的健康下手呢，因为我们的脑袋需要很多的氧气，需要很多的营养，包括很多的水分。最主要次数呢，是因为让我们的血呢比较干净，所以它输送的功能呢就比较强。现在有88%的地球人呢都是属于酸性体质。你看到左脑和右脑完全是不同的功能的，在21世纪是一个全脑的世界了。
全脑开发就是对大脑潜在能力的挖掘，是一种素质教育，重视人格与能力的培养。
从科学家的发现到，右脑本身也是叫做和平脑，它也是一个善良的脑来的。所以你常常用右脑的话，你人会比较平静，而且你的集中力、学习能力也会大幅的提升。
陈生强曾是马来西亚脑力认知协会的特邀演说人，常受邀到各企业授课，分享如何化繁为简。
真正的天才为什么叫天才？是因为他可以把复杂的东西变成简单化，就是知道怎样去找对的方法，让自己学习的比较轻松，然后学的比较快乐。最重要的就是没有压力。
人有无限可能，只要掌握到大脑运用诀窍，再难的事也能有效完成。
Okay, so brief introduction through the video clips. So I'll just elaborate. If people ask me what I do, today in this education for health, I primarily just want to address myself. I'm actually a health educator other than being a health advocate, but I'm more focusing on whatever I develop, I like to see from the perspective of brain. That's why I call myself brain applicator. Any product into my hand, I would like to see how I can re-innovate further. So subsequently, I also want to address myself as a life coach for learning and wellness. I'm actually certified by the government as HRD Corp, and I'm very much focused onto the nano coating and microbes, especially when we start realizing majority of human being, okay, they are very deficient in microbiome, called actually like you actually lack a lot of friendly bacteria inside the body. It doesn't just work on the human, it also works for the Mother Earth. And of course, all my education and training, I like to actually focusing on the brain base or even the mind base. Okay, again, because of this love of my education, I actually would like to emphasize on my SID development, SID for health, primarily focusing on the sleep, on diet, on exercises, drinking a lot of good water, supplement, stress, and even the structure support, actually the body posture. Okay, again, of course, my emphasis will be technology plus naturopath. Now, all these experiences are primarily because of my past experience, all my research, and all my practical experiences whereby through my personal encounters. Therefore, I like to ensure that you do not believe in just what I say, but you make an effort to go and research more. You can go to Google, you can go to YouTube, you can seek for advices from the expert and so forth. Don't just listen to what I share, because from how I did it, I actually have a purpose. Okay, one of my primary goal is to learn as much as possible from geniuses. So therefore, one of the characteristic or attribute from these geniuses is that they do everything from the pattern. I mean, they turn something very complex into something very simple. We call it simplex. So for example, I like to get everyone to understand, when I further elaborate about free radical and antioxidant, I actually summarize it into a simpler form. So that it's so simple that supposedly every human being can understand what is the cause of our disease or illness. Now, I'm going to give you a challenge, and I like your full participation, because you need to type in the answer into the chat box, or you can open the mic or open the video to actually share your answers. The challenge to you will be like, you need to add all this number together from 1 to 100. Meaning to say, you're going to add in from 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 all the way to 100. And hopefully in a very short period of time, you can furnish me or you can provide me the answer. Any idea what's the answer? By adding all this 1, 2, 3 all the way to 100. Just make a wild guess. What do you think the answer could be by summing up all this number together from 1 to 100? Now, if you understand the pattern, you could just come out the answer in less than 5 seconds. But of course, you can use calculator. You can use a hand count like 1 plus 2 equals to 3, 3 plus 3 equals to 6, 6 plus 4 equals to 10, and so on. But it's going to take you a long time to come up with the answer. And in fact, it might not guarantee the accuracy. Okay. So again, because of the time constraints, since nobody is answered, so I'll just give you an idea. If you look at people who are familiar with the pattern or the shortcut, what they will do actually, they'll start observing the pattern and they realize that you can just add up the number from outside. Meaning to say, you're going to add 1 plus 100 equals to 101. You're going to add 2 plus 99 equals to 101. You're going to add 3 plus 98 equals to 101. Okay, you're going to add from 4 to together with 97 equals to 101. But eventually, you add all this number from outside, and until you reach out to the last 2 number, which is actually, give me a minute, I just want to highlight. Okay, my pointer can't come in here. Okay, just want to demonstrate. Okay, 50 plus 51. So these are the last 2 numbers that we added equals to 101. Eventually, what out from the 101, how many are there? There'll be 50. Okay, so the 101 will be multiplied by 50, and eventually the answer is 50, 5050. But again, it sounds very easy, because once you grab hold of the idea, it sounds very easy for you to do the calculation. But the fundamental is actually, in order for you to do this shortcut mathematics, you need to be able to acquire this following. Number 1, you must understand what is 0 to 9. They mean from 0, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, because the next approaching number will be 10, because if they add in 1, 0, become 1, 0. Then it become 11, 12, up to 19. You add another number, it becomes 20 and so forth. So you basically have to familiar in the mathematics, the 0 and 9, okay, because it will form a number. And the next step is actually you need to familiar with the arithmetic operators. That means you must know what is called addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So this one I meant by pattern. And here I would like to simplify by getting you to have a whole an idea. How do you understand? What do you understand by the meaning of free radical versus the antioxidant? Okay, this will be the tonight's topic. Okay, human can actually live and die without getting sick. Because there's a Chinese saying, we are born, we live, then we're supposed to age, then eventually we fall sick and we die or we pass away. But you see, all along, if you understand how to take care of your health, the challenges of getting sick is almost minimum. But unfortunately, in 21st century, it actually started in 20th century, people now are getting sicker and sicker. That's why World Health Organization make an announcement, a very drastic announcement, that more than 80% of people on Earth are considered sub-health. That means we are neither at the borderline, neither we are sick nor we are healthy. So, but okay, again, if you really look at today's in the modern world, there are more sicker people. Why? Because the dying of the OH, okay, dying of the OH is actually very getting lesser and lesser, but dying of being sick is actually getting higher and higher. It all because of one reason: our cells start to age, okay, or our cells get to be deteriorated. So therefore, I would like to announce for your understanding, there's only one disease in our life. It's actually called aging cell. If you don't know how to take care of a cell, we start to age, or even come to the extent it get deteriorated, and we eventually will pass out. Okay, or we will move on to a different life. Okay. Now again, because of this aging cell, it will actually will determine what is the condition of our body. Okay, in the measurement in pH. pH is actually the measurement of hydrogen versus the oxygen. But to be exact, it's actually alkalized substance. Okay, so therefore, if you understand or you learn about science before, pH is actually the measurement of how much oxygen versus how much hydrogen you have inside a content, mostly actually implying onto the liquid. So if you understand, if you heard about pH before, we always talk about this, they're being implied with colors, they'll be indicated with colors. If we are supposed to be weak alkaline, the weak alkaline measurement will be 7.365. Okay, this is actually what we are, 7.365. And therefore, this 7.365 will imply that we are having an optimal body health or optimal energy, okay, whereby you can always anticipating that you do not have what they call inadequate of energy to utilize. I mean, you have unlimited energy. But unfortunately, as we are deteriorated from the food consumption, from the lifestyle, the wrong lifestyle, then the environmental pollution like electropollutant, our body getting more and more deteriorated. It can start from the green, go to light green, then yellow, orange, and even red. Of course, we can't afford to go even lower than 6 for that matter. And again, why do all these things happen? It's all simply because of only one answer. We call it free radical. And how does our body produce free radical? I'll elaborate as I go along. Now, just want to let you know, ultimately, free radical is the killer of all diseases and aging. Okay, it is actually the primary one. Now, in the first place, why do we need to have free radical? Please understand, I give you two analogy, two examples. Let's take a car, for example. In order for a car to move, it needs fuel, and that fuel is called petroleum. But of course, petroleum can't just operate on its own until it combines with oxygen. Every car definitely needs oxygen to move the car forward. So when the fuel is combined with the oxygen, it actually combusts. It becomes like explosive to move the car forward. But everybody knows that when you are able to move a car forward, you have to produce some waste. Okay, the waste is actually called mono dioxide. So you see, I'm actually having the ability to move the car forward, but at the back of the exhaust pipe, you need to release out the mono dioxide. Same goes to human being. You can refer to the lower part, the lower diagram. See, our energy are produced by glucose. So a lot of people misunderstood, whereby, oh, we cannot take too much of sugar. It's not that we cannot take sugar. We must take good sugar, or we must actually take the good sugar that turn from a good carbohydrate, but we call it glucose. Okay, glucose is good because our energy even though our brain, any part of the body require the energy in the form of glucose. But this glucose must be appreciated into the cell called the powerhouse, called mitochondria. Mitochondria itself is actually a powerhouse for us to generate electricity. When you do not have enough glucose to be furnished to the cell or even to your mitochondria, you're not able to actually make your body to move forward. That means you do not have the energy to do the work for the entire day. Okay, let's assuming that you need to work for 24/7. Okay, but again, when we have the energy and there's a good quality of glucose combined again with the oxygen, it's supposed to furnish us the energy because they need to be combusted, they need to be digested. The digestion is actually in the form of burning the food, turn into energy, and energy move us forward. That's why I show you a diagram whereby these gentlemen have what I call exorbitant of oxygen or energy to be able to do the work for the entire day. But subsequently, while burning the oxygen together with the food, especially the glucose, their basic carbon, they will emit what they call free radical. So we can't avoid not having free radical in the body. There must be a form of neutral, or we call it balance, to be able to, while I'm actually having the energy, I must also know how to eliminate the excessive of this free radical, not to be kept inside the body. But again, there's the advantage of having free radical. In the ancient time, when they talk about before 1950s, a lot of people do not take a lot of meat, but mostly take a lot of vegetables. But this vegetable could, to a certain extent, actually increase too much oxygen in the body. There's a reason why the presence of free radical able to neutralize all this alkalinity. So it strikes a balance. It's only unfortunate nowadays we are more gearing into acidic food than the alkali food. Now, to go even deeper, what does free radical mean? Free radical, if you look from the physics point of view, in the electron, proton, electron, and neutron, right? A stable molecule is always running stably. It doesn't get interrupted. It doesn't disturb other cell. But when a free radical is actually in the form of toxin, they're actually missing one electron. And this electron doesn't make it to be stable. It's vibrating all the time. In order to stabilize it, you need to be able to go and get or grab or even steal, okay? Go and steal other electron from any other cell. But mostly it will actually go and grab and steal from our normal molecule or the stable molecule to be able to balance itself up. So while having this done, it actually make other cell become unstable. And this unstable cell, as it go along further and further, right, it become Mcnillan cell. Mcnillan, in a scientific term, is actually called uncontrollable cell, whereby it lead into tumor or even cancer. So that's why free radical is everywhere. Free radical is occurring all the time in our body. It's not just in our body, it's actually occurring into the entire universe. Okay. Now, and to even further elaborate, free radical eventually lead to what? It actually lead to oxidative damage. Now, one good example, everybody have this experience when you cut an apple into half. You cut into half, you see there's a whitening part of the flesh. Okay, but over time, you start realizing that this whitening part will become brownish and brownish, eventually become darker. The flesh become darker and darker. Why? Because it releases its oxidant to able to neutralize the free radical. The question is about the penetration from free radical outnumber the antioxidant. So that's why you eventually become rotten. Same goes to human being. When we are young, right? We always feel vibrate. We always feel energetic. We have all the vibrance energy whereby we want to do anything that we desire. Even we can work, it's like we don't sleep over the night, we still fine for the following days. But as we age, because of the free radical attack, and we can actually lead this into what they call oxidative stress, and that's where we start aging. Okay, we have sluggish, we have wrinkles, we have our energy deteriorated, our focus is not there anymore, our memory deteriorated. It's all because of free radical attack. Now, to give you a better illustration, okay, a tomato get deteriorated or get rotten over time because of the free radical attack. Meaning to say, the body itself, the free radical, if you do not furnish enough, okay, to be able to actually go against the attack from free radical, our cell get destroyed or our cell get deteriorated. And where do all this free radical attack come from? It comes mostly from like we eat too much of instant food. We are not eating the real food. To make it easier for you to understand, we start from 12 o'clock. Majority of the human being nowadays, we are eating it conveniently, and we are not eating the real food. We are not eating the real food that comes from the ground or come from the real stuff. Okay. In fact, we'll be eating a lot of chemical food. We eat the food filled with a lot of free, what they call fertilizer. My apology, it's actually from the pesticide, herbicide, and then you feed a lot with chemical and so forth. And moreover, we are overeating. That's why in Malaysia, just talk about Malaysia alone, right? We are the most obese country in Asia. We have the most dialysis center in the world. In fact, we also just been labeled ranked number 2nd for the what I call chronic kidney failure. Okay, ranked 2nd. And because of all this wrong eating and building up too much of free radical inside the body, doing over excessive exercise, when you do too much exercise and you do not know how to minimize on the lactic acid produced, which is also a form of free radical, eventually your body also get deteriorated. Air pollution, sound pollution, even electropollutant. Electropollutant means actually like 5G, 4G, Wi-Fi. This excess of electromagnetic field is actually hindering our cell from acting normal. There's a reason why our body keep on have to releasing a lot of antioxidants to go and neutralize the free radical attack. Drinking, especially alcohol, or even high sugar content like bubble tea, right? Smoking, even secondhand smoke also become a challenge to a human being because you need to use a lot of, you actually produce a lot of free radical in our body as well. Breathing, ultraviolet, stress. These are basically the fundamental that produces a lot of free radical in our today's world. The stress itself, if you understand, World Health Organization also announced 60% of diseases are due because of high stress. We do not know how to manage our mental, our body accordingly anymore. Of course, among all, right, I would like to emphasize a lot more about the drink, okay, about our eating habits. Okay, please note, in Chinese, right, they have a proper arrangement of their wording. They call it drink, okay, drink. And in the Chinese, it's called yin, okay. Drink always comes first. Among drink and drinks or food, drinks always come first. We need to drink a lot of water. But unfortunately, today's a lot of human beings, they like to drink the drinks with a taste. And moreover, they like to drink cold drink. And these are actually a hindrance to our body digestion, especially when our stomach need to operate at 37 Celsius. When we reduce it to 11 Celsius, it takes 30 minutes to recover back to 37 Celsius. And during this 30 minutes, we are producing a lot of bad bacteria, up to 1 billion. And imagine this 1 billion bacteria can easily produce a lot of free radical as well. Okay, cold drink. Then sweet drinks, everything that's sweet, there are always a lot of carbon. They're able to cultivate a lot of free radical attack as well. Now, food. Okay, eating habit, food is always our most what I call desire intake for our basic needs. Okay, it's a desire because we need to talk about taste. But unfortunately, our food nowadays, there might not be as real. There's a lot of processing food. Even now, they name it to call ultra processing. And all this ultra processing do not provide all the necessary nutrients like vitamins, minerals, trace mineral, even to the extent all the necessary nutrients that are appreciated by the body. No more. Why? Because we like to cook with a lot of fried stuff, the fry with high heaps of oil. And that oil itself is called hydrogenated oil. What does that mean? That means that they are no longer an original oil, but they're more like a chemical injected oil, okay, to be able to last longer, exposed under sunlight. Okay, but again, they are killing all the DNA, all the genetic of the food, and therefore we are taking a lot of unhealthy food. In addition, a lot of food nowadays are being produced through GMO, genetic modified object. And the worst part, even if you particularly I put on the upper left, the food, right? And some people are vegetarian, but they are not healthy. Why? Because they're not eating the real food. They're not eating the vegetable. They're eating a lot of processed food, whereby go into deep fry with high, with what they call stronger taste, so that it's actually easy for them to put into the mouth. Okay, a lot of wrong perception as well. Like when you eat, you are actually thinking that you're eating for producing energy. Unfortunately, they are not. They are causing more free radical in the body process. 90% cause of 36,000 type, okay, of human disease is all primarily because of free radical. It can start from the brain. It can start anywhere, from the brain, from your heart, from your eye, from your lung, your kidney, your skin, your blood vessel. It's practically everywhere. Even your immunity, your joint. These are all attacked by free radical. Okay, you name any what they call medical term that you know in the market or you're very familiar. These are all come back to the root: free radical. Free radical is the root cause of all diseases. Okay, and it's all because of the oxidative stress. I mean, the cell are getting more and more deteriorated. Eventually, they can be aging, or even they come to an extent whereby they get spoiled. I mean, the spoiled is actually like they get destroyed. Okay, and this is the reason why we have a lot of diseases being named according in the medical term. Just remember again, more than 90% of diseases are because of free radical. And then, how do you assess yourself? If you are having a acidic body, remember we talk about acidic body is duly because of the free radical attack. Now, I will not have the time to elaborate further, but what I will urge you to do is please snapshot this picture. Okay, even at a later time you want to watch the replay, you can always take your time to understand all these things. A very simple, I always challenge people. If you were to wake up early in the morning, wide awake, do you feel lethargic or you feel energetic? This is the basic question to ask yourself. If every day I wake up in the morning, I feel lethargic, then is something wrong with my body. But maybe to say my body is acidic. If I wake up wide awake and I'm feeling energized and energetic, that means to say congratulations, your body is actually in good condition. If during sleep, you have bad sleeping quality, having insomnia, feeling fatigued the entire day, emotional very unstable, get agitated very easily, then it has to do with your what they call a liver. Then prone to insect bite because of acidic body. Skin disease, primarily because of your large intestine, okay, are overwhelmed with toxin. Same goes to your liver. Stomach ache, okay, like fever, because you have a lot of bacteria inside in your body. They're producing more free radical. High blood sugar, high blood pressure, and high fat. Okay, these are all the symptoms whereby now your free radical are overly produced. In order to balance your body, they are temporarily make your body into acidity. To make you understand what acidity means, your blood are getting clogged. That means your blood are not running smoothly within your blood vessel, but they are getting joined together to cross-share the resources. Diabetic, obese, gut system, like constipation, loss of appetite, nervous breakdown, bleeding gum, okay? Drink a lot of carbohydrate drink, like too much of soft drink, eat too much of meat, greasy stuff, drink a lot of alcohol, and a lot of sweet. You learn to keep taking sweets. It's also a sign that your body getting more and more acidic. You see a lot of people when they take sweet, they overdo with the sweet, they will find they're very uncomfortable and they don't enjoy it because their body is considered weak alkaline and above. If you're a chain smoker or heavy smoker, this will cause a lot of issue. Now, since I know that the root cause of all this is because of the free radical, how can I neutralize it? How can I eliminate them? I would just like to address antioxidant is called a bodyguard. Okay, you have to furnish a lot of bodyguard in your body. The more the merrier, because why? Bodyguard is at any time is stationed to be able to commit, to sacrifice itself, to be able to help the master body, I'm talking about the system, to be able to keep alive or keep afloat. So what they do actually, they will always contribute their electron to the free radical. Whenever there's a free radical attack to me, my bodyguard will just contribute his electron to be able to pair with the electron so that the free radical become neutral. And antioxidant, don't worry, they will still able to do their job, or even need to, they will just subside and become a dead cell and to be purged out or eliminated from the elimination system. Good thing, what are antioxidants? Mostly they are referring to, like in the 21st century, the solution is actually go with a lot of vitamin E, keratin, vitamin A, beta carotene, lycopene, it's like tomato, lutein, or even selenium. These are very high content of antioxidant. But a reminder, I need you to take note, more than 85% of this supplement are synthetically made. That means they are made by chemical, or they are even made by the residue from the petroleum. So therefore, you might think that, oh, I'm taking vitamin C to address some on the free radical. But as a long term, it will actually cause you to have kidney stone, right? There are too much of what they call supplement that claim able to address on antioxidant or produce antioxidant to suppress on the free radical. You have to study twice, because genuine food, okay, will only produce you high content of free radical. What's the cheaper alternative? The most effective and the cheaper alternative is to go with water. And if you're able to identify water, you see, unfortunately, 70% people on earth have drunk the wrong type of water. Here, I just want to give you an indication. If you're able to identify the good water, they have to be alkaline in nature. They can neutralize the acidity of the substance. And then our body must be at all times at the optimal will be pH 7.365. We need to say to remember it. It's like every week got 7 days, 1 year got 365 days. But of course, you want to go within the range is pH 7.35 to 7.45. And the molecule that produced from a machine or even from the mountain, they are so small, they can easily penetrate to the cell or even penetrate to an object. For example, you can test with the jasmine tea leaf. Dip into a tap water or dip into good water, you can see significant difference. One is at the moment you put into a good water, you'll start drawing out a lot of aromas, the smell, and also give you the color of the tea leaf. Whereas you go with the tap water, they are too big. It'll take a long time, especially only get heated up. They will penetrate into the leaf and draw out the aroma and the color. Okay, next one is to reduce the body oxidation reaction. We call it ORP. The higher the ORP, okay, the higher the ORP in negative, maybe negative 350 MV millivolt is a minimum requirement for my small intestine to be able to transport all these nutrients to the cell and the organ. They have to go with negative charge because the more negative charge of the blood carry with the nutrients, they were able to benefit more to the cell as well as the organ. High in mineral, high in energy, okay, is actually able to act as an anti-aging as well as antioxidant. But the latest redevelopment and research are focusing more on good water, also with high hydrogen content. Okay, this is a subject that will be ongoing as I elaborate further and further in more session. High hydrogen content is a must because it's actually easily made available from the water by going through with a chemical compound. Okay. Antioxidant content in hydrogen water. I'm emphasizing hydrogen water as general. Okay, there are different types of hydrogen available. But if you understand hydrogen, which I'll elaborate on the next session, on the coming session, I'll emphasize what is hydrogen. Why is hydrogen so important? Does our body produce the hydrogen by itself? The answer is all in yes on the above. But more importantly, please note, most of the time, other than taking supplement, we encourage you to take a lot of antioxidant food from the food, especially the vegetable or the fruits. But if you want to understand more, please go and research this function called ORAC, O-R-A-C. It was actually written on the upper right on the slides, oxygen radical absorbent capacity. This is the key because scientists realize that pharmaceutical, they like to use their terminology, and sometimes the terminology might not be as accurate. Therefore, they refine a new terminology, which is called ORAC, is to really assess how much antioxidant or how strong the antioxidant on the food basis. Okay, for example, like apple has 406, carrot have 30, pumpkin have 3. But if you were to really directly extract the antioxidant from the water, become hydrogen water, they are higher in potency in the ORAC measurement. Plant-based diet, always go with plant-based because plant-based can furnish you heaps of antioxidant from the food itself. Of course, SOD, I'm sure you heard about SOD. Drink a lot of SOD tea. Okay, go with any food that supply high context of the SOD. These are basically is the measurement of antioxidant. But like I said, the key today is talk about hydrogen. But again, I'm not just emphasizing on the hydrogen. I'm emphasizing a more extension of the hydrogen called molecular hydrogen. Okay. In fact, you don't have to trust anything I say, like I specified earlier. You can always check with the authority. Okay. For example, look at the right-hand side, Dr. Okta. Okta, he himself was actually researching. In Japan, it's very popular. They use a lot of alkaline water machine. But then he realized that people are getting more and more, it's like less aging. That means that they live longer and longer, not only because of the alkalinity, but primarily because of hydrogen. Why? Originally, he was studying about mitochondria. Mitochondria is actually to study about the powerhouse. How can you have more power generated from the powerhouse of the cell in order to live longer, have more energy, and so forth? Then he discovered among all the longevity villages or even country that he visited, he realized that the key is actually about hydrogen. So in 2009, he started publishing about molecular hydrogen. We call it H2. These are the authority. Taylor is actually inspired by Dr. Okta. Eventually, he formed a institute in America called Molecular Hydrogen Institute. And all together, because they are non-profit organization, all together up to date, they published more than 1,140 published articles, whereby you can visit their website. You just have to type Molecular Hydrogen Institute. You'll be able to find a lot of information pertaining to hydrogen. And of course, hydrogen are not just meant for consumption. Hydrogen also meant for field power today, for cleaner air, for environmental restoration. Water are abundant. Water is widely available. You can even take the seawater, turn into H2O, and able to furnish the hydrogen that needed for the Mother Earth or for power. Okay. Other than these two gentlemen, the other three gentlemen, like in China, Professor Sun, his name is actually Sun Xuejun, professor. He's the first person to study H2 in China. In fact, even in China now, it's it's gained the popularity, talk about hydrogen to cure cancer. That's why there's a book published called Hydrogen Cancer Control. Okay, is to be able to use oxygen to actually control the cancer. And just to share with you, I have several cases, even my relative. Okay, I just want to share with you extra about molecular hydrogen. My relative, okay, suffered from throat cancer, stage 3. That was in last year, September. In about 3 months, in about 3 months' time, he recuperated. That means the cancer subsided, and it was officially endorsed by the oncologist on the January this year. Okay, because he inhaled hydrogen, he also drink a lot of hydrogen water together with what they call probiotics and so forth. I'll share as I go along next time. Okay, Dr. McCullough is the first one in America emphasized a lot about hydrogen. In fact, he has a product more into the tablet form, dip into the water, sip in the water, and to be drunk, because the body needs a lot of oxygen. Okay, body needs a lot of oxygen to be neutralized, especially the free radical to be neutralized by the OH, we call it OH negative. Dr. Paul, another gentleman, he's a scientist in Utah. When his wife suffering from several, what they call weird diseases, he discovered that hydrogen is the only way to help her to recuperate. So where eventually the wife actually did get well based on molecular hydrogen. So this is a key that I would like to introduce you to your present. The cheapest, and not only it is called antioxidant, I will just call it super antioxidant, because for the last almost like 20 years, I've been consuming hydrogen. Not only that, in fact, recent years, like these 2 years, we've been helping a lot of people to recover from the health of weird diseases, even cancer, recuperated by molecular hydrogen. Okay. What we are promoting is actually called H2 Magic. I'm not here to sell any product. I just want to let you know we have a very unique hydrogen called solid hydrogen, which I will elaborate next session. And then, of course, this hydrogen is a self-reducing agent. I mean, any free radical inside a body, we are just furnishing them a lot of bodyguards, tons of bodyguard, heaps of bodyguard, so much so that you don't worry about free radical will be attacking to your body. You have to neutralize your body back to its origin. Okay, it is natural. It will hydrogenize the blood. That means like neutralizing the free radical, increase the immunity, remove free radicals, and also increase the metabolism. Okay, cases that I've done, okay, with blessing, I have one of my students actually participated introducing this to ML companies. And this actually, the testimonial came from 3 different groups. I mean, this is actually furnished by him last year. Okay, imagine there are 14 types of diseases can be rectified, not cure. I wouldn't dare to use the word cure, but at least they've been addressed, like severe gastric, skin allergy, skin issue, constipation, sugar drops, okay, in the blood sugar, back pain, even tumor growth in the dog's knee, energy elevated, okay, weight loss, sinuses, and so forth. But come to the dog knees, I would like to share additional information. During 2020, I have all my relatives from all, I mean, I'm referring to my wife's side, all the family members actually came back to Cebu because they're all over the places, in primarily actually in Australia and in New Zealand. When they came back, I actually awarded them each bottle a H2 Magic. Okay. Last year, one of my brother-in-law, he liked to actually do farming. Then he also reared a lot of chicken to lay egg. They are called hybrid chicken. He had about 6 of them. Eventually 2 died because of aging. So the other 4, he actually sent it to the vet. And the vet actually just had to like check on every of the chicken, right? It cost them 200 New Zealand dollar. But eventually 2 died and 2 still survived, but not survived because of the drug prescribed by the vet. It's because they were dripped with H2. Okay, they were dripped H2. So next time when the opportunity, right, we elaborate further. But I just want to share with you we have been using H2. Even my daughter, she's approaching to 17 in October. She has been consuming H2 during the baby time. Okay, so this is all I'd like to share. In the next round on the detail, we call it the hydrogen detail, right? In detail, we call in depth lah. And the free solid hydrogen will be introduced in Mandarin on the 1st of August. Subsequently, on the 8th, I'll be talking about H2 in depth and solid hydrogen. And that's all I'd like to share for now. Okay, thank you very much. And I'll pass the mic to Daphne.
All right. Hello, everyone. So after the class, I think you guys have a lot of questions about hydrogen and what is free radical. So from here on, we will start our Q&A session. So if you guys have any question to ask, you guys can ask, open your mic, or you can just type it in the chat box and SK will answer your question. All right, let's have a Q&A begin.
Okay, so since we are into the Q&A, shall you have any doubts, any question pertaining to the free radical or antioxidant? Feel free to ask. You're most welcome. You can ask in the chat box. You can open the mic. You can open the video if you like to have some discussion over. Anyone? If any part of the session that I share on the PowerPoint that's actually uncertain or unclear or blur to you, you may ask as well. Please do not feel shy because it's actually very rare that we have this session. Okay, our primary objective is to educate the public, especially the people of Malaysian, of course, our neighbor Singapore, to be able to get familiar, to know more in depth about what free radical and the antioxidant is all about. We heard a lot about all this terminology, but we don't really understand how it works. Okay, and of course, I personally already expressed, I'm a brain applicator. I emphasize on the application. I emphasize on the practicality. So eventually, I need to know how it works. Okay. Okay. How do we know if our body have a lot of free radical? Well, I already give you the answers as like you feel lethargic. The first thing, very fundamental. You wake up in the morning, you feel very tired, very lethargic, not energetic at all. This is a sign that your body become more acidic. If you have aching here, pain here, and like nerve pain, back pain, any sign that signal you to the brain. For example, like I got aching on my joint pain, it's a sign that you also been attacked by free radical because you have misformation. It's just that in medical term, they like to use different terminology to imply about your disease or your sickness. But in actual fact, you don't have to bother about all this terminology or all this medical term. You just have to know that I'm attacked by free radical. Okay, duly because of my diet, duly because of my drinking method, duly because of my lifestyle. It could be even, okay, take note, it could be even that the household appliances, okay, meaning to say like all the chemical shampoo, toothpaste, those toothpaste I use, are they made by chemical or they're made by natural form? Okay, for example, if you have a lot of toothpaste with fluoride, you're causing free radical attack to your body eventually. Yes, it's actually the cheapest form to clean your teeth, but eventually they also will cause more free radical generation. Anyone? This is the second time we have this English session, so feel good and be comfortable. If you have any doubts, any question, you can open your mic, you can ask in the, you can just straight away and ask in the chat box. I'm here to answer all your doubts. Anything that you have puzzled with, I'm more than willing to answer your question. But in the event you do challenge me any question that I cannot answer, then I will come back to you with the answer. Some about the itching problem, how H2 Magic can help, and how much to consume. Okay, itching problem as to where, the skin or the joint. Okay, itching problem primarily because of 3 reasons. Okay, your body is overclogged with toxin, especially at the large intestine and your liver. Okay, I will normally suggest clear your liver, clear your what they call the large intestine, feces. Okay, a lot of feces. But it can even to the extent whereby even though my large intestine can be clean, but it's still clogged at the liver problem. Skin issues are primarily because of the liver and the large intestine. Okay, therefore you need to actually get rid of them. But of course, I wouldn't be able to give you answer about how much H2 we consume. I probably give you an indication. For maintenance, you can just take 5 drops because one bottle is come with 500 drops. One every day, you could just consume 5 drops for maintenance. But come to avoiding from COVID-19, we recommend you go with 20 drops. Even you go with 20 drops, it will last you about 25 days or 30 days. Okay. And if you want to talk about elimination of your itchiness, okay, you can go as high, even one bottle per 1 week or per 2 weeks. I give an example. I have a client who had prostate cancer stage 4. Every day he had to go with a chemo tablet that cost 200 ringgit a day. That means 30 days, about $6,000. What he did actually even come to extent whereby he have challenged with urination because the prostate actually got inflamed. Okay, inflammation also very high. Okay, eventually we encourage him to take about 1 bottle per 2 weeks. Okay, about 3 months later he recovered. But is it totally recovered? I haven't got a latest news from him. Now, another incident is actually a gentleman who had COVID-19. Okay, this COVID-19 caused him actually admitted in ICU for 55 days. 55. Okay. Then subsequently, when he checked out, he had to go for oxygen inhaler, not hydrogen inhaler, oxygen inhaler for 5 months. So he seek for help. So what we encourage him to do is that every day, 1 cup is about 250 ml water. 250 ml water, drip with about 6 to 8 drops, and drink minimum 8 glasses. Okay, 8 drops by 8 is actually about 64. 6 by 8 is about 48 drops. Okay, he couldn't actually complete finishing 8 glasses of water, but only 6 glasses. But 3 days later, he can throw away the oxygen inhaler. But I did tell him there's one problem with you. You might be suffering from water retention at your feet area, or even have a pain at the kidney area. So why so? Because this gentleman is actually from Kelantan. From his experience, he never drank water. He only drink coffee, tea, or even soft drink with high content of sugar. So I actually indicated your kidney or even your part of your organ, right, are actually clogged with a lot of sugar, and they're very highly acidic. Okay, your blood are clogged. So therefore, there's a reason why your immunity get low. Let's just imagine in 3 days' time, right? He consumed about 48 drops to 64 drops of this hydrogen with a lot of water. He actually recuperated by just throwing away the oxygen inhaler. Okay, I have another incident. It's just recently, May 16. He got stage 4 large intestine cancer. Okay, first time he experienced just by 1 drop of H2, he vomited. Oh, sorry, it's a she. She vomited. She vomited like nobody business. Okay, but today she can consume about 40 drops, up to 50 drops. We're talking about as of today. But I told her, if you want to totally abstain yourself from all this free radical or suppress the inflammation, you have to show me that you can afford to take 100 drops a day with no issue at all. Of course, she failed to achieve that. She's still making an effort to recover, but she's getting better and better. Okay, she's getting better and better. Okay, Evie, I hope this answers your question about itchy problem. Itchy problem depends on the severity, because I don't know how the itchy actually is like you have the rashes over the body or only on the certain part, like the leg area, the feet area. Please note, we all live on Earth. We are always pulled by gravity. Most of the toxin will be accumulated at the feet. That's why you see that when people start to have less energy, more deterioration of the body part is always at the lower part of the body, abdomen and below, especially at the feet area. That's why there are a lot of people, especially ladies, they have O-legged or cross-leg issue and so forth. These are all because of the attack from free radical. Anyone more? Any more questions to be asked? You're welcome to ask as many as you want. We still have some time for you to throw me some challenges. Okay, probably I share with you another one about people with a lung issue. Lung issue, you see a lot of people will have this lung with a lot of phlegm, right? You must understand that your lung is comprises of 85% water. Okay, despite we inhale oxygen, we also disperse oxygen. We inhale oxygen, we disperse carbon dioxide, but we need to ensure that we have a lot of good quality of water inside the lung. So in order to push out the phlegm. So one major challenge actually, despite we encourage you to take H2, you still have to drink a lot of good quality of water. Even you can't, at least you have to drink boiled water, drip with a lot of H2 inside the body. Okay. And for people who want to, especially with preparation, want to abstain from attack by the COVID-19, irregardless of any pathogen, I would strongly suggest that you must have take minimum 20 drops per day to avoid, is to maintain your immunity so that you can always go against the attack from the free radical, attack from the pathogen, or even viruses for that matters. Okay, people who actually have a high blood pressure, I will never, okay, have the guts nor the authority to tell you, please stop taking your medicine. Okay, what I would ask you to do is, when you take H2, okay, number one, you cannot say I only take 5 drops a day. I don't know how severe is your high blood. I don't know what is your prescription that be prescribed to you. Okay, the prescription from the doctors. I can only encourage you this. You can actually cut down on your BP, okay, your blood pill, upon you realize that your blood pressure is getting lower and lower. Now, one of the indication, you see, you always have to realize that your measurement, when it deteriorated, there's a good sign that your blood are actually getting more and more, what they call getting healthier and healthier. So therefore, you might want to consider not to entirely stop, but probably cut down by proportion, according to proportion. Like I say, you must always seek for medical advice if you're under the severe cases, okay? Because I have no liberty to tell you that, hey, you must stop taking the blood sugar, what they call the blood sugar pill. My apology, blood pressure pill, okay? You just have to realize what are you consuming. But I can bet, okay, I take my father, for example, he's 84 right now, okay? His blood pressure is 120/80, 120/80. But you see, he already had this habit of taking blood pressure, right? Blood pressure. And therefore, I start to monitor his blood pressure. I told him that, you see, regardless you take or don't take, your blood pressure always maintain 120/80. Be it you take the pill or you take the H2. Why don't you experience yourself by cutting it down, or you stop for 3 days and see what happens? See, a senior who have been get used to consuming tablets or high blood pressure, you ask them to stop, they always have this hindrance. Okay, they always have this feeling whereby, oh, I don't take pill, I don't feel good. But again, despite his measurement is always 120/80. So eventually, what I advise you to do is that, why don't you cut gradually, okay, and see what really happened to your body. And after all, I'm giving you a lot of H2, I give you a lot of probiotics to be able to maintain the body. Then you don't have to worry too much, because blood pressure are being prescribed by doctors. They primarily just want to make sure that your blood flow accordingly and don't get clogged. But H2 are able to actually eliminate all these things. No? But again, like I say, even my parents, I don't tell them that, oh, you must stop. I will only encourage them and feed them with information that for them to make judgment to see how to stop accordingly. Now, let's talk about blood sugar. My mom is retaining at 6.5. Even last few months ago, he went to a doctor for blood check. Doctor was commenting. Her blood sugar is actually almost like perfect at 6.5. So is my father. Okay, you can start with both actually. If you were to take pill and you can take H2 at the same time, but you must take in the separate interval. Let me say, if I were to take H2 because it's highly alkaline, please note, H2 is highly alkaline in nature, and drugs is actually acidic. When these two meet together, they will neutralize each other. So I'll never encourage you to take H2 together with your pill. They have to be taken separately. The interval is about 30 minutes. Any more questions? Or we are done for the night? Please feel free to ask anything. Okay, now you're not confined to or restricted to just ask about free radical and antioxidant. You can ask anything pertaining to health. Okay, well, this is a time for you. This is an opportunity for you to ask any question that you have in your head. You have anything that you feel puzzled, that you want answers, I'll do my level best to provide you the answers if I can. If I fail to do so, I'll find you the answer. Okay, I open up the table for everybody to ask anything. Not necessarily must be free radical or the H2. It can be anything. Okay, even like it can be calcium, because we are not just encouraging people to take one type or one product. There are many choices of solution to actually address on your issue, where it depends on how patient you are or how fast you would like to have your issue rectified. Okay, of course here we promote 100% natural, okay, preferably food-based, no drugs, no chemical compound, no synthetic, nothing at all. Anyone? Anyone have any kind of challenges or any doubts that you have? You're most welcome to ask. You may open your mic, just speak up if you want to. You don't really have to type. You can just speak up. We have Alicia, Alison, Candy, CL, Coach Guna, Evin, Grace from Singapore, iPad, Jean, Jianwen. Okay, someone with stressful and with depression, how to solve? Okay, please note, depression. If you understand depression, one of the primary objective, of course, negative thoughts. Okay, please note, 80% people on earth, I would say majority of people on earth are all with negative thought. And I call it ANT, A-N-T, automatic negative thoughts, because it's natural built in us. Genetically, we are all born to be born negative, because start from a primitive time, start from a primitive. So it's very natural we all act negatively. We cannot see positive side of an event or circumstances. So therefore, please note, people who are stressed, people who are depression, one reason, your cell deteriorated, not enough oxygen, we call it hypoxia. You start go and research more as you inhale, or probably you inject them with more oxygen or more antioxidant, their what they call their positivity will be elevated. So one of the easier way is to take a lot of H2, because H2 are there to minimize or eliminate the free radical, is to boost up more oxygen. Because when you understand the chemical compound, they're producing a lot of OH negative, they're neutralizing all the free radical. So eventually you have a lot of water, you have a lot of oxygen inside your body. It will help to actually make changes, may reducing on the free depression and also the anxiety. Okay, but stressful, please note, stressful is a cause of your thought process. If you can't deal with the thought process, you don't know how to leverage on don't understand your body physiology, especially like the conscious mind and the subconscious mind, there will be a challenge. Okay, because in my personal opinion, this is my personal opinion, which I always educate the public. The most difficult question to ask myself is that you must know what you really, really, really want. This is a bigger challenge and the biggest hurdle to a lot of people, especially the youth today. You ask them, what do you want? They always tell me, I don't know. You ask them, what do you want? They will always the same answer, I don't know. So this always stress them out. Okay, this is issue number one. And please understand, the second most difficult job to do in this world is thinking. That's why you look at my philosophy is simple living, high thinking. Go with higher thinking to address all the issues, but of course with the condition that we have to do it right, and we have to do it right first, eventually get better and better. Then eventually we look for breakthrough. So these are the two things that it must be addressed. Sometimes it's not because of the drug, because of the mental processing. Okay, it's an emotional thing. What is the cost of the bottle in the H2? The cost you can refer to Jeffrey. Any question, or you can always refer to the person that brought you in. I'm not here to share anything about costing or the pricing for the product. Refer to the introducer that brought you into this, or otherwise you can check with Jeffrey. But we still have to come back to the person that introduced you, your presence to our group for the discussion. Because I'm not here to sell anything for the now. My apology, I won't be answering you this question. Do approach your introducer who brought you into this session. Okay, but rest assured, it's actually very affordable. Okay, as compared to other hydrogen that you approached in the market. Why? Our intention is to localize it. Our intention, I'm promoting local talents. Okay, I'm not just promoting hydrogen. I'm also promoting the best probiotic Malaysia made in the world. I'm also promoting detox program or product in the world. Okay, and in fact, these are all made in Malaysia. Now, later part, you'll be seeing that I'm introducing my education program with even planting the seed. We have the best seed in the world, but yet not appreciated by many, many places. Okay, we have start promoting because I'm localizing all this. I'm promoting the local talents. Okay, YK, sorry, my apology. Please refer to your introducer who brought you into this. Okay, depression, I hope I answer your question. Stress is because of the mental. Start reactivating your thinking process to become positive. Of course, it's a process. Secondly, depression is due because you lack of oxygen. You need to actually inhale a lot of oxygen into your bloodstream. Inhale as to like it can be in the form of really breathing, inhale a lot of hydrogen gas, or you put in a lot of hydrogen liquid into the body so that they will neutralize all the free radical and pumps up all the oxygen inside your cell to get yourself charged up. But I'm still concerned about the thinking process. Okay, like I say, majority of human beings are having a lot of ants inside the head, not automatic negative thoughts. Anyone, please feel free to ask questions. We still have a long way to go, about 25 minutes. This is a chance for you to ask any questions. Okay, anything they are not certain, anything that you need answers pertaining to health, pertaining to what they call issues on certain diseases, please, you're free to ask. Okay, just want to have some guides. Okay, can I have probably in the numbers, right? Can everybody share with me throughout the session? Do you understand what I'm delivering? If you do, can you give me 555, 35? Okay. If you don't, give me 30, 30. Can you understand what I'm delivering for tonight's session? If you do, give me 35. If I fail to make you understand what I'm delivering, give me 3 zeros. What does a 111 means? I'm asking for 555. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, how about the rest? Because it's important that I have to pass a message across with clarity. If I fail to make you understand, it's not your problem, it's my problem. So I have to provide clarity for you to understand what we are learning. Okay, my job is to ensure that everybody learns accordingly with comprehension, understanding what free radical versus what antioxidant is all about, so that when you make your choices of acquisition of the product or even solution, you know exactly what to look for, right? And like I say, the cheapest is always begin with the water. But water itself today might not have high content of hydrogen, so you can put in additive. I mean, you can put in drops. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay. Anyone? Any questions? Since I'm giving you clarity, I really appreciate it. And please do ask questions if you have any. Or it is too little for you to ask for now. It is okay. We just move on as we go along. Okay. As time goes by, I'm sure your participation will be greater and greater. Because this is a second session, we are talking about antioxidant or free radical in English sessions. Please note, every Monday, I have this talk regards to water, antioxidant, free radical, or even calcium. Okay, probably with some minimum knowledge about certain product. But on every Thursday, I give any topic that demand by the public. I'll just make my effort to deliver the topics. But of course, that entire session will be conducted in Mandarin. Okay, this is actually the first time that we are conducting our session in English on alternate basis. Like I say, the subsequent Monday, we'll be talking about the H2 index and solid hydrogen. It's a unique solid hydrogen that you can't find any elsewhere, but only available in Malaysia. And it was designed by my teacher called Simon Ng. Okay, which I've been with him for the last 20 years. And my focus is actually on the brain and mind management. But I like everybody to acquire a good health, strong foundation, so that you know how to be able to appreciate your body more and drive yourself to the optimal level for your talents. Okay, take my daughter, for example. Well, she's 17. She's still very much learnable. She can pick up stuff fast. She's a super learner. But come to thinking, she still have to continue learning to be able to become a better thinker. Right? But she does acquire a very strong foundation for her health. So she have all the energy. She's energetic. She's able to take out a lot of challenges, and she basically occupies herself with dancing every day. Okay. Can I urge everybody to give me questions or give me challenges that you have doubts in mind, or else perhaps if nobody asks me any questions, I just had to request MC to have our session close earlier. It's no point we wait until 10 o'clock, and I really appreciate if you do, please throw your challenges. Okay, if taking O, I'm sorry, what is OH? Or taking pH, okay. No need to take other antioxidant food. Okay, yes and no. Yes and no. It depends on what you take, because antioxidant food are basically referring to vegetables or fruits. Of course, you can take, but I have to urge you, unless they are planted organically. Now, one example, one of the key topics I like to talk about is supplement. Why we have to take supplement? Because if 25 years ago you take one piece of strawberry, today you have to take 1 kg of strawberry to equal amount of the nutrition value. Well, like I say, strawberry is an antioxidant food, but unfortunately, they are no longer a natural food. They've been planted with a lot of chemical like fertilizer, growth hormone, heavy metal, a lot of chemical compound thrown inside the soil for them to grow big, but they are ting kosong, they are empty, they have no nutrients, they probably have calories. They are not appreciated by the body at all. So if you take H2, at least fundamentally, it is a very strong antioxidant to eliminate all your free radical. Like I say, our free radical are just primarily like a soldier inside the body, or a bodyguard inside the body to go against a free radical attack. It's like protecting the cell not to be damaged, not to be destroyed. Okay. If you take food, food can be more expensive, especially when you talk about organic food. And there's no guarantee all food taken are supplying you the adequate antioxidant. That's the reason why scientists emphasize on ORAC for your research, for your study, to go and study what kind of food provide high content of antioxidant. Example, if I ask me, what is the most common nutrient, nutrition or probably nutrients food to be taken, I always encourage, other than spirulina, your alternative will be moringa. And you go and research about moringa, the ORAC content is super high. Turmeric is another alternative, right? But again, there are two different types of turmeric, organic powder or organic extract. They call it curcumin. Again, it's a different kind of measurement for the ORAC. So we still encourage you to take food for you to supply the energy. H2 is primarily like supplying surplus of bodyguard to go against the attack of the free radical. It's good they complement each other. I'm not saying that you just take H2, you don't have to take any other thing else, right? I cannot comment on that. I wouldn't know what's your body constitution like, because you also need other supplement or nutrients from the food supply. It can be your mineral, it can be a trace mineral, it can be your collagen, it can be a protein and so forth. You might need other things from the food supply, okay? H2 are primarily focusing on antioxidant, that's it. There's no nutrient, nothing, but it just supply them surplus of a bodyguard to go against a free radical attack. Yes, if you're talking about replacing antioxidant supplement, the answer is correct. Antioxidant, but you still have to take food, okay? Can you some problem with supply body with high spike? Body with high spike? Oh, high spike antioxidant, okay. The chances is very, very, very rare. Okay, I give you an example. I give you an example. It's almost very rare, right? I will call it mission impossible. Why so? Just imagine this, imagine this. People say when I take too much of antioxidant, I will actually make our body, okay, now let's put it this way. If you're talking about 100 years ago, people are really overdosed with high content of oxygen or antioxidant. And the symptom will be like your body becomes stiff. There's a reason why they quickly go and take high acidic food. For example, durian. Durian, or take an egg, or take a white rice. These are highly acidic. The moment you consume that, you neutralize all your antioxidant. Now, I give you another analogy. Imagine if this is my one glass, 1 mug. Okay, this 1 mug. And this 1 mug, let's take is 325 ml. It's actually equivalent to 1 can of the Coke. If I ask you to drink one Coke, one can of Coke, and I want to neutralize because the acidic measurement is 2.15. Now, do you know how much it takes? How many glasses of this, or how many cans of this water that actually can neutralize the pH 2.15, that 1 can of Coke? Here carefully, 1 can of Coke, the pH measurement is 2.15. Now, if I ask you, can you drink 32 cans of pH 7? That means, let's say, for example, I go and boil the tap water and I'm going to replenish them 32 cans of this water and ask you to drink. Can you share with me, do you think we can finish drinking the 32 cans of water, measuring at pH 7? Okay, I doubt so, because you're going to measure 325 is like 3 cans equivalent to one liter of water. You are asked to drink about more than 30 liters of water. There's no way you can drink 30 liters of water. Now, even if you do, take note, even you can drink 32 cans of that pH 7 water, your pH from 2.15 can only neutralize up to 4.8, which is equivalent to drinking beer. That means your acidity has not been neutralized. Now I seriously want to neutralize it. You have to drink pH 10.5. pH 10.5 is very high alkaline, but it's still drinkable. 10.5 is still drinkable water. And you still have to drink 32 cans of that 325. You mean you have to drink 30 liters of pH 10.5 in order to neutralize 1 can of 2.15. Now imagine this. I doubt so you can drink 30 liters of water within 24 hours just to neutralize 1 can of Coca-Cola. So there is no way, no chance, not possible at all for anyone to go and drink 32 cans of water, 30 liters of pH 10.5 liter, just to make sure you increase your spike of your antioxidant in your body. It's almost mission impossible. I hope that answers your question. Okay, YK? Very rare. Okay, unless you, on the other hand, you stay in a Virgin Island in high heel with high antioxidant, with high negative ion, okay, then you can be overdosed with antioxidant. Yes, it's possible. That's the reason why you take durian. Why? Durian is actually named after the king of the fruit, but on the other hand, it's also the most acidic food among all the fruits members. Okay, that's why taking a lot of durian can also cause acidity to your body. If your body is not alkaline enough, okay, it will cause more acidity. That's why a lot of people, they will fall sick easily. They immediately go low because they are replenishing a lot of free radical inside the body. Any more? We have another 12 minutes. Please welcome to ask any question. Please keep the momentum ongoing. And this is a time where you learn a lot more. The more doubts you have, please don't hesitate to ask. Okay, I will do my level best to answer all the doubts that you have in mind. If I fail to answer your question, I'll definitely find you the answer. You're welcome to open the mic. You're welcome to open the video. No, we can have video calls and so forth. Okay, I think I did not miss any question that have been challenged, right? Okay, good. Okay, since we're touching on the durian, okay, now do you know why anyone who actually familiar with Thailand people, are they taking the raw durian or they're taking the ripe durian? Ripe durian tastes sweet. Okay, look at Philippines. Are they taking the raw mango or they're taking the ripe mango like Chinese, the sweet one? Okay, if you look at mango, you look at durian. Thailand people take the raw one simply because raw durian indicates alkalinity. Ripe one, sweet one, okay, taste good one is actually acidity because of high content of sugar and low antioxidant. Raw mango, okay, green apple, these are very high content of antioxidant versus the red apple or versus the ripe mango. Because the more ripe it becomes, the sweeter it becomes, less antioxidant it becomes, less acidic, less alkaline it becomes. So that's the reason why you look at some region of the country, they do not enjoy like how we eat. We always prefer to go with sweetness. We also have to taste good. They don't, because they refer on the health as a #1 priority. Yes, can take high negative ion will help, definitely help. But high negative ion, well, example, coconut drinks, coconut juice, okay, freshly plucked from the tree, and you can do a test. Use betadine. Betadine is actually very high, what they call, you can representing the free radical, and they're highly overly on positive charge. Because when you go with highly positive charge, they can kill any bacteria. Example, look at the swimming pool. Why they go with chlorine? Chlorine chlorine kills bacteria because they carry high charge at plus 800 MV. Plus 800 MV. 800 MV doesn't just kill the pathogen, the viruses inside the swimming pool. It also kills us, the human flesh. That's why look at all the national athlete swimmer, the swimmer athlete, right? They basically have to tell you, oh, I have to announce early retirement at the age of 34. Because every day they soak inside a chlorinated water. So not only it kills make their hair bald, make their skin whitening, and also make their internal organ become deteriorated. So that's why the energy become deteriorated because of free radical attack. Okay, that's why I look at swimming pool in Singapore or swimming pool in Europe, they don't go with chlorine anymore. They go with ozone, O3, ozone, ozonize. Okay, so imagine this. These are chlorine that kills. Same goes with betadine or iodine. They kill bacteria. But if we can test with your coconut juice, whereby high in negative ion, you can see that 1, 2, 3 drops, and I dilute it with the coconut drink, they will subside. I mean, they'll disappear. And you can only see clear coconut water because they're high in negative ion. See, the reason why we have to drink a lot of negative ion stuff, because our blood are carrying negative charge. Imagine your blood vessel is carrying negative charge, and every drop of your blood are carrying negative charge. We all learn from same ion, that means positive and positive, they repel. Negative and negative repel. Positive and negative, they attract to each other. That's why if you understand the blood vessel carry negative charge, the blood drops carry negative charge, they repel and run, make your what I call the driving of your blood to become smooth, because they are not able to stick to each other. Today, when we have high blood, we have high sugar content, we have high fat, stick onto the wall of your vessel purely because the polarity, because of positive and negative, they attract to each other. So any blood that carry all the waste, instead of going to your elimination system, it now goes to your blood vessel. It sticks to a blood vessel. Okay? Yes, that means that our body will never be over-alkaline for nowadays world unless you stay in a virgin island or you stay at a high mountain with high negative ion. Potentially, the chances of getting alkaline or over-alkaline is very, very, very low. I will put it like 0.0001%. Okay? In fact, you want to get deteriorated, very simple. Like I say, you want to make your body acidic, very simple. Just every day drink 1 can of Coca-Cola and see what happened to your body. 1 can. Okay, I can show you a statistic. It was 2005 in China at that time. Rich people, rich family always encourage children never drink water but drink Coca-Cola. At the age of 13, the brain deteriorated, becomes 60-year-old brain because it's very corrosive. I would take it in such a way that last time, ancient time, when a killer killed on somebody else, they will have the acidic, corrosive, corrosive water to go and corrode all the body and the bone, right? Because it's highly acidic. Okay, any more? We have 6 more minutes. Any question, any doubts? Okay, good question about apple cider vinegar help. Yes, it definitely helps. Apple cider vinegar is actually, despite it tastes sour, but it's actually alkaline in nature. It does provide what I call high antioxidant. But as an Asian, right? As an Asian, I want to make sure very clear. As an Asian, especially old senior people, abstain from taking too much of apple cider vinegar. As an alternative, go for red wine vinegar, made by grapes, or go for what they call brown rice vinegar. I have from a Japanese. I will urge you to buy the vinegar mostly actually from the Asian part of the country, especially like Japanese, or even red wine vinegar are referring to the grape vinegar. These are warm food. Apple cider is considered cold food. Sometimes some people, after taking it, they have a joint pain, they have discomfort of the body because they are considered cold food. Or it can apply to even young ladies sometimes. That's why I'm still encourage you, if you can, go with vinegar that made by red wine, probably what they call this grapes, or even go for brown rice vinegar, brown rice. Okay, anything that is actually considered warm food. Apple cider vinegar you can drink, but you need to probably top up with some ginger. Ginger is actually considered warm food. Ginger is good for everybody. Ginger. In fact, you look at the hierarchy of alkaline food, it's actually ranked #1 compared to others. There are 3 key One is ginger. The second one will be turnip. The third one will be cucumber. In fact, you look at Chinese rojak. All Chinese rojak, the fruits are basically made of raw. Okay, raw mango, cucumber, rank number 3. Then they put in some pineapple, raw papaya. These are all very high enzyme, high antioxidant. Okay, and they are raw and they're alkaline in nature. Okay, age, I recommend, well, more than 30-year-old. You can, like I say, Asian are not well suitable to drink too much apple cider. Occasionally for you to drink, it is okay. But overdosing or over period of time, you find that your joint pain, you feel like you're getting colder in your body heat, then start changing to other type of vinegar. Okay, Leo, I hope that's answered your question from Singapore. Thank you for your support. And what else? Thick brown rice vinegar. Just go around at the Japan store or check with the organic shop and ask for the cold and the warm vinegar, warm type of vinegar and cold type of vinegar. Okay, very good. Really appreciate your support today. And any more questions that I would like to ask? We have 3 more minutes to go. Okay, since nobody asked any questions, I'll just make an announcement once again. So the coming week, Monday, we'll be having a topic on the H2 index and the solid hydrogen, our unique hydrogen. Okay, our unique hydrogen on this antioxidant, super antioxidant. We just want to quickly able to address the health challenges, less dependent on the drugs or administration from the medical or medicines. So what we promote, we emphasize on technology, but we do emphasize on naturopath. That's why I call it technopathy. Technopathy. And it's important that we always encourage you to come on our continuous sharing. In the event at the last today's session, right, we also be sending the video clip. If you do like to look at the replay of the video clips, please do not hesitate to reach out to Jeffrey for the link, and we're able to furnish you the link on need basis, on request basis. Okay, otherwise, thank you very much once again for attending today's session, and I'll pass the mic back to Jeffrey for him to do a closure. Thank you very much. Jeffrey, pass on to you.
All right. Thank you everyone for your time to come and join our class. So thank you for your time, and we will end here. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a good night.
A reminder, we see you on the 8th for the subsequent one. Thank you. Have a good rest.